Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are, whenever you're watching this. This is Floating in Dreams. Today's video is going to be my monthly makeup haul for September. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. This video is going to be my haul for all of the bits and bobs that I got in over the past couple of weeks. Now, I had originally conceptualized this video in a slightly different way, but there are just a couple of things still making its way to me, so I can't share those with you yet. So I've shuffled some things around and I'm going to be showing you the things I don't have yet in the next month, because I need to pre-film a couple of days in advance in order to get things up. And if things aren't here yet, I also can't talk about them. So there are some more things already making its way to me, just so you know. But I just thought we could then just chat about the things I got in London. So this is a bit of a mainly what I got in London haul. I hope you're ready. In case you're unfamiliar with the channel, hi, my name is Maaike. I live in the Netherlands. I like to come on here and I like to chat about eyeshadow palettes, essence and Catrice reviews, and getting the use out of my makeup. And because I have fair skin with a cool to neutral undertone, I deem myself a snow angel, and this greatly skews my makeup preferences. So if you'd like to join the Snow Angel Club, then definitely click subscribe below, because I would love for you to join my little family. Also, if you're not a snow angel, even if you have very deep skin and you have very warm tones, maybe I can still give you some insights about some makeup that other people don't. Who knows? So I want to start us off with the 4 things that I got in that aren't part of my London haul. Everything else I'm going to show you I got when I was in London. So that's why I thought I could kick things off with some new in bits first. When I showed this in my eyeshadow palette collection video, I hadn't tried these yet. By now I've taken pictures of these and I've done the swatches. So if you can see something in these pans, then you know why. I got the Fantastica Cosmetica Druid palette. And this is one I wanted to try because I love trying a couple of new indie brands every single year. This wasn't a brand I had heard of before, but I saw, I think it was Betty Jean talking about it on her channel, saying it was lovely. It's giving me subculture vibes with color, with like some duochromes in here, some really intense shimmers. It looks absolutely stunning, and it's got 5 shimmers actually, and only 4 mattes. So I really do like the look of this, but I think it's also a really nice grungy color story for the fall time. And then also quite hot off the press, this I got in the day before I started filming my eyeshadow palette collection. But that's the Cosmic Brushes Serenity palette. And this eyeshadow palette cost a bit of a hype, and I'm not gonna lie, that's why I also wanted to try it, for the most part. Then again, it does have a color story that appeals to me because it has blue, greens, and purples for the most part. We just get this like almost neon peachy orange and this gold as a bit of warmth. And this is quite matte heavy. I didn't realize that until I got it home, so I'm a bit, because I prefer a shimmer over a matte. We all know that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shimmers in a 20 pan eyeshadow palette. And I also thought this looked a lot bigger than it did once I got it home, so I do appreciate this not being too big. Can I use this? I think I can. It has the color story that I like, and the shimmers in here seem to be very interesting. They're more like for instance, this is more of a duochrome, and this one as well. So it's not just like boring. They seem to have a little bit more texture and can add some interest, but it is quite matte heavy. But the matte colors you get in here swatched beautifully, even the lighter shades did. So now I'm very curious to see. It's going to be a couple of months until I can try this though, because I'm going to be toning down the number of new palettes I will be reviewing, because I've been buying fewer this past year. So I'm already almost gone through everything I bought. In fact, already in September, I'm going to get around to things I bought this summer. So I think this is going to come up either in October or in a November 5 palette review. Ather Beauty, and this also took some time to come in because I bought these palettes during their 4th of July sale, and this one was 60% off, and actually their shipping and handling fees weren't that terrible. I think shipping was like 10 or 15 euros, which for, you know, having this shipped over from the US is actually quite reasonable. And then I was only hit with like 12 euros at customs, so it was actually pretty doable for these 2 palettes. And also the Rose Quartz was like 25% off. So I think that in the end, with all of the shipping and handling fees, it was still more affordable now than getting both of these at full price, just without even shipping and handling, like if I'd have had fully free shipping. So it was a really good deal. So we've got the Ather Beauty Rose Quartz. This is the one I really wanted. This is the smaller one that doesn't have a mirror or a magnet like it used to, but this is just the cool tones in here, this shade. I swatched this already. It looks really stunning. It does have a very sparkly finish. So the shades, especially the mattes, kind of felt like a palette I tried from Catrice last year, which was their Clean ID Mineral eyeshadow. And that I didn't like at all because it didn't really stay put on my eyes. It created a lot of fallout, which I normally don't have issues with eyeshadow. So I can't wait to try this on my eyes to see how it works. But this one was lovely. So I believe this is the Moon Spell palette. So this is another one that I was like, okay, if I'm then going to try the brand, I want to try too. And this was 60% off. I couldn't believe it. And this, again, blue, greens, and purples with some lovely gray tones. So I think I can make this work. It has 3 mattes only, and this teal felt very dry. Like if you've tried certain beauty-based shades that also have that very dry pigment to them, that's how this feels as well. So I'm not sure I'm gonna love the quality of these. The shimmers also seem to be like more of like a satiny sort of level. I think it can be very wearable colors though for every day with this one. So even though it's more on the colorful side of things. So I can't wait to try that. But the first swatches, I'm a little bit worried I'm not gonna like it, like and rate it as highly as I'd hoped. But it's definitely great to try some new brands. And now we're getting to the bits I bought when I was in London. And in case you would like to hear more about my London travels, you can go over to my Instagram, which I've linked in the description box down below. There you can find all the pictures that I shared with on my socials while I was on the trip. But I've also filmed a video for my second channel. Yes, I've got a second channel where I've actually filmed this makeup look minus the lip, because I shared a picture on my community tab while I was away with, this is some of the makeup I've worn, I've brought on this trip. Who would like to see it? And then I realized that I wasn't going to be able to share it on here because I just have everything already planned out for this month. So I've actually decided to film a Get Ready With Me where I chat about my London travels for my second channel, because my plan is to revamp my second channel starting this upcoming week. So if you'd like to see some more lifestyle bookish content from me, then definitely head over to my second channel, because I'm going to be revamping that after not posting for like a year and a half. So yeah, if you want to see this makeup look, minus the lipstick, this is Strawberry Shock from Eldridge. I finally get to try it on. But yeah, let me show you what I first what I got. That's non-makeup. So I didn't buy any books. I know, who am I? Usually I always buy books when I go to London, but I bought quite a few books in the run-up to the trip, so there wasn't anything that was exciting me straight away. So that's why I didn't buy any books while I was there. If you want to see the books I bought ever since I stopped filming videos for my second channel, then check my second channel, Floating in Books, next Wednesday, because that's when my book haul is going to be up for like all the books I bought in a year and a half, which was a lot. But I did buy some CDs, some albums. I'm a very avid music listener, in case you didn't know that about me. Music is my thing. That was actually my first love. I know, cheesy line, but that is true. And if you are familiar with London, then you may know that in the East End you have Rough Trade, which is a very famous music store. They also do in-store performances and stuff, and they are more like alternative. Like they will not put Beyonce's new album front and center. Like they focus more so on alternative music. So I picked up Pale Waves, which is a British band that I had never heard of before I saw it there, but they recommended it. This is their third album. Haven't listened to it yet. And then Odessa, which is a band I discovered through an indie playlist I have been listening to for years. So I've been listening to this band for years, but always as like just single songs as part of playlists that I make, but never as an album. And now they had their latest album out there. So I thought I could give it a try to see if I like it as well if I listen to a full album of Odessa. I'm not sure whether that's something I might like. So yeah, just some new music to try out. One band I already knew, the other one I didn't. And then I also like to do some vintage shopping when I'm in London, and I got myself a pair of elasticated waistband, flowy polka dot pants from this vintage shop I always go to whenever I'm in London. They're just really basic and easy, and they were on sale. So non-makeup-y bits, but beauty bits that I like to actually stock up on when I'm in the UK, and I hadn't been able to buy these because of course I wasn't going anywhere. The Original Source Tingly Mint and Tea Tree, and they came in this gigantic size and it was cheaper than buying 2 of the regular size. So I was like, if I buy 2 of these, it's like buying 4, but it will be like £1 cheaper than buying 4 of them. This is super affordable body wash. And if you're unfamiliar with UK price points, beauty products can be quite expensive here in Europe, but these retail for £1 each if you buy the smaller size. But this is one of their more popular scents, and they do it in this ginormous size. So I got 2 of those because I love it, and I just used mine up earlier this year. Like I was like hanging on to these because I was like, I don't want this to go, because I wasn't sure when I was gonna go back, and then I knew I was gonna go back to London. I was like, now I can use it up. So yeah, I just used up my last one this year, and now I've got 2 in backup. And then I also really like this. This is the Soap & Glory Smoothie Star Body Butter. And this is my favorite body butter from Soap & Glory. So their entire line has a very particular scent if you're familiar with their body products. But this one is scented with almond and vanilla, it says, but it also has a hint of pistachio. It's sweet and nutty, and it's just so lovely, and I really like the texture of this as well. It's really rich and creamy and smoothie. Soothing, I should say. It's Smoothie Star. Yeah, so this is my favorite one from there. It's Soap & Glory isn't very affordable though, but they did have a 1/3 off of all Soap & Glory products when I bought this. So I was like, I can put that back in my collection. I'm actually running quite low on body butters. Then I also found this at Superdrug. This is the E45 Face Moisturizer for dry and sensitive skin, also suitable for those with condition-prone skin. So this seems to be a brand, I'd never heard of them before, but this seems to be a brand that's very much aimed at people with skin sensitivities like eczema and those kind of things. So I thought I could try it. It says it was new. I don't know, it's quite affordable as well. So I've never heard of this. If anyone from the UK watching this is familiar with this brand, let me know before I put this on my face, whether you have any experience with this product. And then my mom actually asked me if I could bring her back some fragrances. She loves trying fragrances, but she doesn't want to spend a whole lot of money on it. Just like I'm a bit tired of what our drugstores have on offer. So can you have a look for me and when you're in the UK and see if you can find anything? So I got her these 2. I'm not sure if this is any good because I've never tried this brand and there were no testers. So I hope she'll like it, but it's Artisan's Atelier, Spring Fleur, and Lily Amour. And Lily Amour is jasmine, water lily, patchouli, vanilla, and musk. And Spring Fleur is blackcurrant, peony, rose, sandalwood, and musk. So I hope she likes these. She's like, well, we can try them out together, and then you keep the one you like and I'll keep the one I like. So maybe one of these might end up in my collection as well, but they were on offer, buy one get one half off, so I decided to buy her both because I couldn't pick. So that's not even for me, but it's for my mom. I went to the drugstore to stock up on my Soap & Glory pencils. So this is the Archery Brow Pencil from Soap & Glory. This is one of my all-time favorite brow products. I buy mine in the shade Blonde. I think it used to be called Blonde Shell, so they've changed the name on this. And this is the only one that Boots here in the Netherlands doesn't stock online. They stock the dark brown, they stock the black, but the blonde I can't find, so finally got 2 new ones. The only other drugstore things I bought were things I was hoping to find when I was in the UK. This is a product from Maybelline that I have seen on Ellie Glines' YouTube channel, and I was like, oh, I'd love to try those out, but these haven't released here yet. But in the UK, they had the entire line of the Maybelline Vinyl Ink lipsticks, and these I thought were really cool to try out for one of my lip swatch videos. So I bought all 8 shades. Superdrug also had a deal where if you bought one product, you would get the next product half off. So I also got a bit of a discount on these because also Maybelline in the UK has gone up quite a lot in price. These were like £12 a pop. So that's a lot of money for a lipstick, I feel. But if they release here, they're probably going to be like 15 euros a pop, and there's no deal like the first 6 months that they've come out. So yeah, I thought I could try those for like a lipstick drugstore moment later this year, because I was still looking for like one good brand to try out. I got a lot of like just one-off bits. I went to Selfridges and there I picked up a blush from the new Benefit line. I hadn't seen these in store yet because I don't really go into stores that often anymore. I tend to just buy everything online, and then and I don't live really close to the shop, so I need to sort of like make a bit of a detour to go there, so I don't always go to shops where they stock Benefit. So I got the Willa shade, which was the one that appealed to me the most. It has a bit of a shine to it, it seems. And at Selfridges, they also stocked Rem Beauty, or R-E-M Beauty. That's how I would want to pronounce it. The brand from Ariana Grande. And I looked at that concealer and it felt so thick. And I was like, no, that's not something I'm gonna like. So I passed up on R-E-M Beauty mainly because there was just nothing in the line that really stood out to me. The brand had only launched just a week before that in the UK. The only thing that I really liked from the brand, the look of, was like their lip oils, but those had sold out, so I couldn't pick those up. So yeah, R-E-M Beauty is now available from Selfridges in the UK. If you are in the UK, I'm sure you can shop it online through them as well. That new concealer looked very promising, but the way it blended out, I just knew it wasn't gonna work on my skin, so I decided to not pick it up. What I did pick up from Selfridges wasn't something I paid for. Actually, one of them I got from Phoenix, and the other I got from Selfridges. So, MAC lipsticks. I had saved up all of my Back to MAC products. Here in the Netherlands, Back to MAC doesn't exist, but the UK does do it. So I went to Selfridges and picked 2 lipsticks that I would normally not pick up. I thought, let's be adventurous and try some other things. So I got a Frost. This is New York Apple. This reminds me of something my grandma would wear, but it looked really pretty in a swatch. I'm just very curious to see what it will look like on my lips. So yeah, that was a free lipstick. And then from Phoenix, I got the shade Verve. I did pick this up at Selfridges, but they were out of stock. And I wanted to go to Phoenix because they sell Trinny London. So I had a swatch over there. Again, not something I picked up because the sales associates weren't just, let's just say they were very preoccupied with anything but helping customers. So I'm not sure what they were doing, whether they were like taking stock of products, but one of them just was walking around with a clipboard. Another one was just cleaning brushes the entire time. So I was like over there like swatching products, like making it very obvious that I wanted to buy something perhaps, but you're not gonna get I'm not gonna be a customer from your brand if you're not helping me. So yeah, I did pick up Verve there. And then I'll just place a Trinny London order online some point. I now know what shades I like from the line, so that's gonna happen. I also went to Harrods one day, and there I picked up one thing. I never bought anything from Harrods, but I got a Gucci lipstick because along with the Maybelline lipsticks, one of the things that I still want to film is an overview of my Gucci lipsticks. Now these are very expensive lipsticks, so I only have a few of these. But now that I have this shade, I feel I have enough to do a full video with because I have 2 shades from each of the formulas that I wanted to try from the brand. The packaging is super duper cute. This is in shade 301 May Coral. I also went to Liberty's, which is one of my favorite places to always shop at. Their beauty counter isn't all that interesting, I find, but they again have a couple of brands that we can't get. And there I found the Ultraviolet SPF 50 Dream Screen Tinted Veil. So this is like not even a skin tint, it's an SPF with color. That's the way you should see it. And this is a brand I've seen a lot of people talking about on TikTok. A lot of people are rating this SPF really highly, and they have just come out with this like foundation-like product that is very sheer. I have this in the shade V2, and then I had a bougie moment. So one brand I really wanted to try this year was Victoria Beckham Beauty. It's just the only place you can buy the brand is online and from her boutique in London. So when I was in London, I went over to the Victoria Beckham boutique, which I was like, I'm gonna walk in there and like there's going to be all these expensive clothes and shoes, and I'm like going to be like, I just want to watch, like I just want to have a look at the makeup. But they were very friendly in there, and I got 2 products. I got the cream blush in mini skirt, and I got this, and this was the thing I was very much lusting after, but it was sold out all the time online. This is the what's this called, the Lit Luster in Mink, and this is a powder shadow in a pot with one of those little stoppers, and it's the most gorgeous, like taupey, smoky shade. It's divine. This is of course a very expensive brand, so I just bought 2 things just to dip my toe in and to try it out for the first time. But yeah, I finally got myself some Victoria Beckham Beauty. And then some other one-offs that I got were from Space NK. So 2 brands that I knew Space NK would stock since recently, Rare Beauty and Rose Ink. So I got the Rose Ink concealer in LX030, and I got one of the new Rare Beauty lipsticks. I already have a lot of Rare Beauty products that I picked up from Sephora over time, and this month I knew I was gonna do a full face of Rare Beauty, and I was like, I have to show them a lipstick. This is the Kind Words matte lipstick in the shade Worthy, so that's the shade I picked up. A lot of it was out of stock though, so I just kind of bought the 1 shade. They still had 1 left. I was like, this is the only shade that really appeals to me. Space NK only had 7 out of the 10 different shades that the brand offers. There is currently a pop-up somewhere in London, but I wasn't anywhere in the area when I was looking for this product, so I just went with it and hoped for the best. It seems to be a nice nude, but I found they still had all the testers in and it was very brown. Everything was brown. So I'm not sure whether I'm gonna love this, but we'll see how it goes. So the Rare Beauty lipstick and the Rose Ink concealer, just to try out that. And then of course, I had to go to the Lisa Eldridge pop-up in Covent Garden, and I got the foundation. I got shade matched in store, and this is what I ended up with. I keep it in the box for now because this is a very awkward foundation to store otherwise, so I'm just gonna keep it like this, sitting up on my makeup table. And I was still, along with the other foundation and another base product I got from the last brand we'll talk about, I wanted to add a couple of other base products to my 10 foundation roundup. I already showed you like the drugstore foundations that I bought, so I want to do a video with 10 drugstore foundations that I'm trying, but I had about, I think 7 or 8 foundations that I have already tried, and I sort of wanted to round out that video with some other picks, and I knew I wanted to add the Lisa Eldridge to that review, but I couldn't figure out my shade online, and I did have one of the sample cards that this shade came with, but I wasn't entirely sure, and then I was like, I'm going to London anyway, I'll get matched in the store, and they did a really good job matching me. She was like, maybe you're a 7, and I was like, I think I'm a 5, and she was like, you're right, a 5 is your skin tone match, but the 7 was a match to the foundation I was wearing, but that was a hair too dark for me, so that's why I went with the number 5 in the end. So that's the only thing I picked up from Lisa Eldridge. I didn't pick up any of the lipsticks. I felt very proud of myself in that moment. I almost did, and I was like, you can buy these online. You know you're gonna buy the entire line anyway, so you don't have to pick them up right now, because I won't be doing an update on Lisa Eldridge until like the fall time anyway, so I have a little bit of time, I think. And then the brand I wanted to make sure I had enough products to do something that resembles a full face with for October is Glossier. So Glossier came to the UK, I think last year. They opened a store, first a pop-up, and now they have a proper store in Covent Garden. So that was in the same area where the Lisa Eldridge shop was. So I got a couple of more products. I already owned a few from when I was in New York. So now that I have these ones, I think I can do a full face. The only thing I didn't pick up were the powder, because I don't love loose powder and I don't need to add another powder to my collection, and the bronzer, because the bronzer was very shimmery, and I was like, I would try that for the video and never wear it again. So that was just not a product that looked right for me. Plus the lightest shade, which was called Flare, was just very, very yellow, and I was like, not sure that's going to look nice on me. So I decided to skip the bronzer, but I finally got myself one of their cloud paints. This is in the shade Storm, which is not a shade a lot of people rave about, but the popular ones, Dusk and Beam, and also I believe Puff, they're just not my shades. Dusk is far too warm toned. It is very orange when I swatch it out of my skin tone, and Beam is the peachy shade, but it's very, very bright and intense, which is not something I wear. If I wear a peach, it's like a softer peach, and Puff is just a bright, bright pink, which again, I don't wear enough. And this, if I don't use too much, it looks like a very good nude on me. This is the only shade from the entire line that has a little bit more of a cooler undertone. Everything else is warm tone, so that's why I went with Storm. Then I got the Glossier Skin Tint in G11, so I decided to go with this. G12 was a little bit too light, but I have that shade in the concealer. At the time when I was in New York, I passed up on this because I was already buying a couple of products and I knew I couldn't buy the entire range because that would be a bit outrageous. So now I picked it up this time. And then I got one of the new Ultra Lips. So this was, the minute this launched, I knew I wanted to try it. And the shade Fête instantly stood out to me. This is like that popsicle summer sort of lip. And the other Glossier lipstick I have is in Zip, I believe. And that one I also really like, the Generation G lipstick, but this Ultra Lip looked really pretty too. So I wanted to try that. And then I got eyeshadow. So I got one of their Lit Stars, and this is in Fawn. And it's such a pretty mauvey, taupey, dirty lilac shade. This looks really, really stunning. So I can't wait to put that on the eyes. And then I got one of their trios. So this, again, when it launched, I knew I wanted to try it. And this shade, Jute, instantly stood out to me. It's light, but it's got a matte, a satin, and a very textured shadow. And especially this one looks really pretty. It's very sparkly without it being too glitter heavy. And this also comes in this like plummy purple dirty lilac shade. So for me it was between those, but I felt this was just a lot more my vibe, and this is something that's going to be very easy and breezy. It comes in a little tin, and these are refillable, so you can pop this out and you can take the pans out. So that's another great thing here as well. So that's everything that I got when I went shopping in London. I really hope you enjoyed seeing this. If you want to hear more about my London travels, then definitely head over to my second channel, because actually I filmed this look today as a bit of a get ready with me chatty video about my London trip and everything that I did while I was there, including some tips on how to travel if you're going by yourself, because it was a solo trip for me. And then I also put this makeup on, save the lip. I did change the lip after I had lunch today because I wanted to make sure there was something more, a bit more of a bright pop of color there. And I was dying to try out one of my new Lisa Eldridge lipsticks because of the trip. I hadn't had a chance to take pictures with those yet. So those had been like sitting in a box for like a month before I took pictures with it. So yeah. That's that was really lovely. But yeah, so if you would like to see this makeup going on, it was the makeup from my travel makeup bag that I took with me when I was on the trip. So if you want to see that, then head over to my second channel, because that's going to go live in a couple of weeks. So I hope you'd like to stay tuned for more, either on this channel or on the second channel. And I hope you'd like to come back and see how these products go. I definitely have some plans with these, some full face makeup looks, some lip swatch videos that I'm going to be doing in the next couple of months with these. And of course, some more palette reviews that are going to be coming your way that I'm going to be doing as the time progresses and try out all the new things that I have. And then put them in Shop My Sashes and try it all out. So I'm super excited. I think I got some really lovely bits, and I hope you like to stay tuned for more, and have a great day, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.